Okay, I'm ready. Hi, hello, welcome. Let's get cozy and let's talk about books. Welcome to the very last video of 2025. Guys, we've made it. Congratulations to us. Round of applause, please, 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 for you, for me, for all of us being here today. I have been waiting this entire year to create this one video, the last video of the year, which is the end of the year tag. I love to look back on a completed challenge and just reflect and just take a moment and for just 1 second, be proud of myself that I achieved a goal. This year, I have a lot of things to celebrate. We'll get into that. And I'm just so excited to talk about all of these books that I've read, all of these authors that I've been introduced to, this community that we have created. I'm very excited for today's video. Without further ado, let's roll the tape. Now, I have a list of about 20 questions. I tried not to copy all of the end of the year book tag questions. I tried to be just the teeny tiniest bit original. I don't know if I've succeeded because obviously I have not watched all of the book tags that are out there in the world, so maybe I was not that original, but maybe I was, so stay tuned for that. Question number 1. Did you complete your 2025 reading challenge? Last year, I read 27 books. I started this year with the goal of 30. And then once I read 30, I was like, let me give myself a new challenge. And I set the goal at 50. And then once I read 50, I set myself a new challenge, 75. And once I read 75, I set myself a new challenge of 100. Well, I don't like to fail, could you tell? Now the reading challenge is sitting at 100 and I'm about to finish my 99th book. When I'm filming this, there's still like 2 more weeks of 2025. I think I can finish the book that I'm reading right now and finish one more book. This has been the slowest reading month of my life, but I do feel that I will be completing my 2025 reading goal. Stay tuned for that. But even if I just read 99 books or 98 books, to me it's as if I completed the 100. To be honest, at the beginning of the year, even if I said it officially on 30 books, I hoped in my heart that maybe I could read 100. I really wanted to prove myself that I can do it. And that takes me into the second question, which is first impressions of BookTok and BookTube as a creator. So if you guys didn't know, I started my book creator journey in February of 2025. I made my BookTok account, and then in September of 2025, I made my BookTube account. I never really thought that I would do it. Like, it wasn't something that I had been thinking about for a very long time. In January of 2025, I was in a deep depression, as one is in the month of January, the longest and dreariest month of them all. And I was watching a lot of BookTube and BookTok. I had started reading the popular BookTok books in 2024. I had read Boys of Tommen, Akatar, Fourth Wing. I was like, I want to talk about these books. I want to convince people to read this book. It was kind of somewhere in the back of my head. And then one day I was watching BookTok and a video of Maddie showed up. And Maddie is one of my favorite creators of all time. If I would ever meet that girl, I think I would throw the fuck up. And I was watching her video and she had like long ginger hair and her nails were done. She was talking about Fourth Wing or something like that. I was like, wait, you kind of look like something that I could do. If I set myself in front of a camera right now, I could be doing the same exact thing that you're doing right now. I mean, not as well. It's the thought that counts. Anyway, I was like, oh my god, what if I could do this as well? And that's how the idea came. And then I just opened the notes app, started writing down ideas of videos that I could make and see if I actually had read enough books to make those videos. That night, I wrote down 60 ideas. I was like, oh my god, maybe I should. And then I started talking to my friends about it and they were very supportive. And I really didn't have any expectations. Like, I didn't even think that 10 people would want to follow me. I was just driven by delusion. I was like, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I just did it blindly. I've heard this thing once and I think it's the most brilliant thing ever. You shouldn't set goals for yourself that you can't achieve. You have to set the goals that you know that you are in control of. So the way that I think about creating content right now is not end of next month I want to have 100 more followers or 1,000 more followers or 10,000 more followers, whatever, because you cannot control if a person will follow you or not. You cannot press the button for them. But what you can do is do your best to encourage people to follow you. Like, be in a good mood, talk sincerely, be your most authentic self. Don't edit out the dumb stuff, because that's part of your personality. Show up every day. It doesn't matter if you have a video with like 20 likes, don't delete it, own up to it, and just keep creating and keep doing it. I'm so happy that I started this because I'm truly just enjoying it. I know that you cannot make a career out of something in 1 year. Like, you have to have been creating for a longer time and you have to build a community, and that's not built in a day. I would read even if I stopped doing this. Why stop? I love the routine that it gives me. I love that it motivates me to get out of bed every single day and chat with people about books. For now, I'm really enjoying it and I'm really happy I did it. Next question. New favorite authors of 2025. I have a lot. Taylor Jenkins Reid, Kristen Hanna, Frederick Backman, Jessa Hastings, Abby Jimenez, Rebecca Yarros, Emily Henry, Liz Tom40. These are authors that, if I've not already read all of the books that they've ever written, I am planning on doing that. These are author by author. Every single book that they write, I want to read, I want to consume. I'm tabbing all of their books. I am there, I am crying, I am involved, I'm loving every single second of it. A book that surprised you positively. I have a bunch. One of the first books that I bought without knowing anything about, without having heard anything talking about that book, was Variation by Rebecca Yarros. I was just book shopping one day and I saw Rebecca Yarros' name, and I had just finished Onyx Storm, which is one of my favorite books of the year. And I was like, oh my god, she's writing contemporary romance as well. Let me just see what this book is about. And all I had to read was the word ballerina, and I think it's the first word on the back of the book. I was like, sold. I love every single book that contains dancers. I've talked about it before. You already know the drill. And that book, if you miss the type of connection, yearning, tension, just romance that Violet and Zayden have in Fourth Wing, you have to read Variation. Rebecca Yarros just writes romance like no other. Maybe it's not for everyone, but it's definitely for me. Everything that she's ever written and I've read, I've rated 5 stars. I was so surprised, and I still have not heard anyone else talk about it. I think it's such an underhyped book. I love it. Read it. Another one is Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I have been eyeing this book for such a long time because I love Coco Mellors' covers. Like, every single book of hers that I've seen in bookstores, I'm immediately drawn to it. But I've never picked them up because I've never really heard people talking about her books before. They were mixed opinions. I didn't think that litfic would be the genre that I would like. I mean, I started this year reading more fantasy and romance, so not really anything litfic. So I didn't think that I would love it. I think it was during a TBR video, picking my TBR from my TBR jar, and the prompt was Pinterest chooses the book you're gonna read. And I was just scrolling on Pinterest, and obviously because of how beautiful the cover was, I found a pin of Blue Sisters. I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And I postponed it for like 2 months. Had bought the book, so I had it, I owned it. I was like, okay, let's read it. Whatever, if you don't like it, you don't like it. I gave it 5 stars. I love it. I think about it every single day of my life. I'm not even kidding. Don't know how it is possible to create a book with only flawed characters. Like, every single character is flawed. I did not judge any one of them at any point during the book. They were making terrible mistake after terrible mistake. I was like, no, I get it. No, valid. So genuinely, if you have sisters, read that book. Like, you're gonna love it. I promise, I promise, I promise. And even if you don't, I think you could still love it. But like, if you do have sisters, it's just gonna speak to you on another level. And then the last book that I wrote down was Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I read all of her adult books this year. I had time to see a few reviews before I read it. I was only seeing people rating it 1 star and 2 stars and DNFing it and saying it's Emily Henry's worst book. And I was like, okay. I went in with the lowest of expectations. When I tell you that's my favorite Emily Henry book out there, I don't know what it is about that book. Like, I don't like it as much for the romance as I like it for the mix of genres and mystery of it all. And I loved the old lady side of the story. I didn't find any single second of that book boring. I was entertained the whole entire time. 5 stars, my favorite book of Emily Henry's. I'm sorry, I'm actually not sorry. A book that surprised me negatively. I'm not going to elaborate. I'm just gonna tell you and you're not gonna judge me and we're gonna move on, okay? All roads lead here. Verity, The Love Hypothesis, if it makes you happy. Let's move on. A questionable 5 stars. A book that I gave 5 stars and I've never really thought about. Maybe I exaggerated. Maybe it wasn't a 5 star. 3 books. I'm saying this with the premise that I enjoyed these books. I just don't think they were 5 stars. The 7-Year Slip. Read that book at the perfect time. That story just didn't stick with me. I don't even remember the name of the MMC. You could pay me money. I have no idea. But I do really love the book. That book has so many beautiful quotes. I think I want to reread it. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. I don't even think that she's not an author for me. Like, I love her writing. I just don't think her books are 5 stars for me. Final Offer was my favorite one and is still my favorite one because it has a tortured soul. I think Hal is a tortured soul and I really love the connection between the 2 characters. Was it a 5 star though? But I still love this story. And the last one is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. Adore that series. That series got me back into reading 2 years ago and I owe everything to her. I love her as an author. I love her writing. I love her. So I read Powerless, Powerful, and Reckless all in like a week. And I just think Fearless didn't hit as hard because I had been waiting and anticipating that book for such a long time that by the time it came out, I think my expectations were just too high. And I gave it 5 stars because the ending really shocked me and it was like a sensationalism 5 star, but I never really think about the last book. I don't think it was a 5 star, but definitely over 4. Like, I still love that series. I still recommend it with all of my heart. Okay, let's move on. A book that should have been 5 stars. A book that I gave 4 stars or 4.5 or 4.75, but I didn't give it 5 star. However, I keep thinking about it and right now I think I should go back and change my rating. And I think one of them is Nora Goes Off Script. I think about that book so often. I love it so much and I think it's partly because of the setting. I will never forget the setting of that book. I loved it and I remember the way it made me feel. I know that there was a reason why I only gave it 4 stars when I did rate it, but the fact that it stays so close to my soul, I think it should have been 5 stars. The same goes with the Windy City series, books 2 and 3. I want to reread those books. Here's the thing, I will. I know for a fact that I will be rereading those books. Those books should all be 5 stars besides Mile High. Your favorite book couple. So I have a few. Violet and Zayden from Fourth Wing, Kennedy and Isaiah from Play Along, Helena and Cain, and Lizzie and Huey. I'm going to get emotional and I'm gonna start crying and I don't think you want to see that. Maybe we'll get back to them later and I think that we will, but for right now, just know. Favorite book to movie adaptation. I have read so many books that were turned into movies in 2025. Don't ask me why. I've read some good books, I've read some bad books, I've seen some good movies, I've seen some bad movies, but my favorite adaptations, I know this is not a movie, it's a series, but it still counts, The Summer I Turned Pretty. That's the best adaptation that I've seen the entire year. Don't ask me how many times I've watched The Summer I Turned Pretty. I'm not going to answer. Am I rewatching it right now as we speak? I'm on season 2, episode 3. Not normal. I had no interest in reading the books or watching the series when it was popular. I wanted the shortest audiobook that I could find, and the one that my audiobook app kept recommending was The Summer I Turned Pretty because it was like a 3-hour audiobook. I'm not exaggerating. Maybe let's do it. I mean, it's popular. Maybe it's popular for a reason. And I liked the books, but I didn't love them. They weren't more than 3 stars as books. But then when I finished, I was like, I might as well watch the series, and there was no going back. I want to reread the books, especially on audio, because the actors from the series are narrating the books. And I didn't know that as I was listening, and I did not know that Chris Briney was narrating in my ear holes as I was listening. I am going to reread those books. So that's my favorite. And then I have another one that I really liked. I don't think it was made in 2025, definitely not, but it was A Man Called Ove. I don't know how to pronounce that, and I think in the movie they changed his name. I did not read the book, but I watched the movie this summer. I think it's one of the best movies that I've watched this year. I know that it might seem a little bit boring and it's not for everyone, but it was for me. Let me know if I should read the book, but that movie was insane, and it was a book to movie adaptation. What is your God tier list? What is God tier to me? God tier is not only my favorite books of all time, but also the books that if I see someone talk shit about them, I take personal offense. There are books that I gave 5 stars and I love, but if I see someone being like, this was shit, I can understand why. Like, I can see their point of view. I don't agree to it, but I can see where they're coming from. Like, I couldn't care less. I gave it 5 stars, you gave it 1 star. That's perfectly fine. But with these books, if I hear someone not like these books, I'm gonna start crying. This is the list of those books. Starting off with, obviously, Boys of Tommen. If you've ever seen my face before, you know Boys of Tommen is my favorite series of all time, the best books ever written out there. Love them with everything inside me. Those people are real people. You will talk shit about them over my dead body. Alchemist, that's the newest addition to that list. If I think about it too much, I am going to cry. I didn't think this book would be part of this list. I was very skeptical to pick it up because I knew it was a dark fantasy and I had never read a dark fantasy before. I didn't know if that was something that was for me. As I was reading it, I put a lot of walls up. I was like, you're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to let this book ruin you. So I didn't cry up until the very last page. But once the book was over and I read that last sentence, it was game over. Started crying like there was no tomorrow. Every single time I see someone reading it, I cry from the beginning till the end. I have goosebumps over my entire body. It surpassed ratings one of my favorite books in the world ever. The Magnolia Parks universe, I understand why you would not like book 1, but if you read the whole entire series and you don't like it, I don't think you and me can be friends. I'm so sorry. The way the last book that's out right now made me cry. Illegal, Fourth Wing, I remember every single second that I set myself down to read every single one of those books. That's rare. The Hunger Games, I don't think I need to explain myself. Atmosphere, My Friends, and The Nightingale. No, I can't talk about these. I'm gonna start crying. Let's move on. Top 3 book boyfriends. Number 1 is Xaden, Fight with Wool. Kai Azar, Isaiah Rhodes. If he's not like that, I don't want him. And number 4, because I forgot about him, but now that I think about it, should be like number 2, Johnny Kavanaugh. Make Johnny Kavanaugh 5 years older and bring him to me. Favorite popular book, Alchemist, Rewind It Back. And you know what? One book that was very, very popular this year was Fearless. Fearless had a huge hype around it and I loved it. Again, do I think it deserved the 5 star that I gave it? No, but was it a good book nonetheless? Yes. Your favorite underdog of the year. I've talked about Variation before, but definitely Variation. And then another one that I have not talked about is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. The Friend Zone is her first published book, her first ever series. I went into that series with 0 expectations. 5 stars. I love that book. I think it's so underhyped. I think everyone should read it. It's such a good book. And I understand how it can be frustrating for some people, but I binged it so fast. I read it in 2 days, maybe, on my birthday this year. It's the best birthday gift that I could have given myself. Series you will not continue in 2026. I'm gonna name them. They're gonna be very popular. You're probably gonna love them, but we're just gonna ignore the fact that I didn't like them, okay? You're not gonna judge me. And I'm not gonna talk about it too much. I'm just gonna name them, okay? Is that a deal? Perfect. Chestnut Springs, This Woven Kingdom. I do believe If It Makes You Happy is gonna be a series. And if it is, I'm not gonna continue it. Okay, let's move on. We're reaching the end. Second to last question. Name some of your favorite creators to follow, book creators. If I name all of the creators that I follow, we could be here until tomorrow. So I'm just gonna name a few of my favorites, and I just think that if you're not following them already, first of all, you are following them already. But if you for some reason are not, go do that right now. I've already spoken about this woman. I love her with every fiber of my being. Maddie, if we're on the subject, her best friend, Em. Those 2 people, don't even get me started because I'll start crying. Talking about book best friends, we have Larry, Yana, and Mariana. Love them. Emmy, Sarah, Freya, Heather, Jolie, Laura, and these are just a few of the names that are coming on the top of my head, but so many more. And the last question of this video: what are your reading goals of 2026? And not just the reading challenge, but reading goals in general in 2026. Let's get this first out of the way. The reading challenge that I'm gonna set on Goodreads and Fable next year, I think is still gonna be 100 books, but I don't really care so much about it. I mean, I've read 100 books this year, so maybe I can read 100 books next year. But if I don't reach that goal, it doesn't really matter to me. As long as I'm reading for fun, books that I love, as long as I'm enjoying myself, I don't really care how much I'm reading. It was way more about the reading goal this year because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. But now that I know that I can do it, I don't need to do it. You know, like I don't read books just cause. I'll set it to 100. If I don't reach it, I don't fucking care. And now when it comes to just reading goals, like just reading habit, I would say I think I want to read less for videos and more for myself. And when I say that, I don't mean that I mind having a TBR jar and picking books as prompts and books that I wouldn't pick otherwise. I think that's cool. And also reading challenges for YouTube. Like, you know, getting yourself out of the comfort zone is not a bad thing. And that's not what I mean. But I mean, I don't want to read popular books just because they're popular. I want to read books that I think I'm going to like. Another goal is to make more book friends. And what I mean by that is have the courage and build the courage to reach out to more people that I admire that are also reading books. I think I find it so embarrassing to DM someone and them not to DM back or leave you on read. That's even worse. I don't like to put myself out there and be rejected. You know what? I think that's very human, but also you never know when somebody will reply or somebody will see it. I've been a little bit of a chicken this year and I've not done it yet, but I am going to talk myself into it. I'm gonna make it a 2026 goal, like not even a reading goal, but like a personal goal. Just put myself out there even more than I already am. I've already done more than I ever thought that I could do this year by putting myself out there on TikTok and YouTube and like what I'm doing right now. But I can push my limits even further. And I think another one and the last thing that I can think of when it comes to reading goals, like reading related goals, I think keep posting because it's very easy to not do it. It's very easy to wake up one day, be like, what's the point? I don't want to do it anymore, but just do it. I hope that in 2026, I will still keep posting and I will still keep putting myself out there, just dare more things, you know? It took a little bit of time for me to be fully authentic and be fully myself. There's that pressure, especially on TikTok, to talk really fast and say the most catchy thing possible so that people don't scroll. It took a little bit of time for me to figure out who I am out there and what I want to say and what my personality is, and I still think that I can grow into myself and keep trying to get better and keep doing it. So yeah, those are some of my 2026 goals when it comes to reading, and that was a little bit of a wrap up, a look back on a year of reading and posting and creating and putting yourself out there. Let me know what your reading goals for 2026 are and what your favorite books of 2025 were. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have the best year in 2026 and everything comes true for you, manifesting that for all of us. I hope the book that you're reading right now is a 5-star floppy perfect read, the perfect book to get you into 2026. And without further ado, I'll leave you to reading.